All right, fellas, let's have the conversation. My name is Kali Chris. I am pastor of Church for All Nations. Listen, this is part of our Bible study and also our conversation tonight. I want to invite you in. Thank God for all of you who are here. Those of you who are coming in, I hope that you can get somewhere and relax so that we can have this conversation. It is going to be really, 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 really good. So I'm going to invite some more people in here. I hope that you are able to come in and stay a while. So we're going to do a reaction video tonight. Um, and I really want to know, I really want to kind of get the feel for what you all think about this. And see if we could at least, maybe help somebody, right? We don't know what people are dealing with. We don't know what people are going through. So maybe this is a way that, our comments and our conversation could be a help to somebody. I like to think that, we are a community and, we could add some information, some redress, some insight to this discussion. I'm going to try to invite a few people in. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Call my man. Yeah, let me see if get some very outspoken people in here. Let's see here. See who else we can lock into this conversation. It's Wednesday night, so hopefully we can grab some people. And I'm also going to invite people to actually come in and chime on. Come online if they want to talk about this tonight. I'm telling you, it's going to be a Z. I think so. Let's see here. Let's see if we could. All right, so those are some of the people. I hope that we can get some feedback, get some people in here. So we're going to do a reaction video. This came across my timeline a few days ago, and I put it out to a couple of the guys that I knew. That's kind of in my sphere. Not all, but a few guys. Let me see. I'm gonna try to get a couple of other guys in here. I got a few brothers who I think might really be able to speak to this a little bit tonight. And I really just want to get your thoughts, really. I mean, there's no perfect answer to this. But I think it's something that we might be able to talk about. Get some of the women in this room, see how that goes. All right, so I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, and we are going to have the conversation. So there's this guy. I know of him. I'm not going to give you everything I know about the gentleman that I think I know. I know one thing. I guess I could say he used to be a pastor. Yeah, he was once a pastor of a ministry, and I don't think he's that any longer. But so tonight, he put out a video regarding grace and peace. Good to see you, lady Taisha. And we're gonna do a reaction video. I'm gonna kind of talk about it. I'm gonna kind of what I'm going to do is I'm going to how do I do this? I'm going to play it through. I think I can do that without infringing on any rights. I'm going to stop it. I don't know. I don't really know the rules to YouTube. Not all of them anyway. So I'm going to try to. I don't know. We'll see how this works. but this is somebody else's video, and I'm going to do a reaction video to the video. I think it's a good learning tool, and I'm hoping that more people will get on here and participate with us tonight. I do want to say before I get started, want to pray for uh, our dear friend Val, who I didn't mean to put that out there. Val, who lost her son tonight. I want to really pray for her and hopefully the family, and praying for their strength. It's got to be very difficult to lose a loved one, lose a stepson. So let's hold her up in prayer and tonight, and we'll pray for. Let's do it now. Father, we thank you for the mercy and grace. We thank you for your compassion toward us as we gather together and learn and glean on this topic. We pray that you would be with us. We also ask that you comfort our dear sister Valerie and her family as they're going through this time of sadness and bereavement, and strengthen them now in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so let's get into it. So this young man is talking about a situation that he had in his home. And the reason why I think this is important to talk about is because this is stuff that we don't talk about, right? These are things that we typically don't talk about. And especially when it comes to men. When men go through situations and crisis and challenges, it's not one of those things that, we like to talk about. Men suffer in silence oftentimes. Men don't really get a chance to tell everything, all their grievances, because it's in our culture. And some of us, believe it's weak. It comes off needy, it comes off inferior, and that's not something that men are willing to embrace. So we don't talk. Men don't tell you a lot of what they're dealing with, and if they're not in a healthy environment, which I don't really hear a lot of, but there's a lot of our young men who are not in healthy environments, who are not in healthy relationships, and they are with people who think that they should be able to deal and suffer and endure everything, and that's the whole notion of being a man, which I think is ridiculous. And it's not good, it's not healthy. So a lot of our men are not in healthy relationships with their wives, with their relationships with their women, and they're just not. Men are, you'd be surprised, you'd be very surprised at how many men are actually hurting every day, all the time. And not just, you know this superficial hurt, right? Real deep scarring, deep trauma, uh deep abuse. And because it's not something that men are comfortable talking about, they do suffer in silence. And some of them do other things. They, turn to alcohol, turn to abuse, turn to drugs, other things. There's all kinds of other things. They get into all kinds of things because they need to be respected, they need to be loved, they need to be cared for, they need to be honored, they need to be strengthened. Good to see you, my cousin Elder Bertha Brown. God bless you. So tonight we're going to do a reaction video of this guy who's telling his story about him being in his relationship with a woman who has a daughter. And we're going to kind of unpack his position, right? And I want to make sure that I don't get in trouble with this. What I mean by that is I don't, they got these whole rights thing that you got to do now. You got to be careful with, and all this other jazz. So I want to make sure I don't get into any trouble with this tonight. All right. So okay. So I'm sorry, but just go on. I'm trying to tag my man, but I see he don't know what he's looking for. Um, Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start this video. This is going to be good. I think you're going to really get a kick out of this. So grace and peace, Deaconess Barrett. So let's unpack this tonight. This is going to be good. I think it's really going to help our brothers tonight. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. What else? How else can we put this on here? Let's do it like this. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's get into this tonight. This is gonna be good. All right. So this is this brother's story, and let's see if we could kind of get a feel for what's going on with him. All right, here we go.
Another a-hole for refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's wedding because.
All right, I don't know. I don't know if he uses profanity. I don't think so. If it is, it's not a lot. But bear with that part. Okay, I want to stop there. I don't think it's a lot. I don't think he does a lot of that. But I think it's. I want to get the whole story. Oh, and by the way, my brother Butter, who's going to be on here, he's the one that gave us the long version of this, so we can kind of talk about it tonight. So thanks, brother. Thanks, brother Butter. I love that guy. You know, the only thing I don't like about him is he's a Dallas fan, but nobody's perfect. All right.
So real daddy is the one that's gonna walk her down the aisle. So let me tell you guys about my stepdaughter. All right.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning.
Another a-hole.
I want to start over. I want y'all to get this. I want to get you a full effect. Okay, y'all ready? Let's go. This guy.
For refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's wedding because her real daddy is the one that's gonna walk her down the aisle. So let me tell you guys about my stepdaughter. All right. She wants her real daddy to walk her down the aisle. Now let me give you a little backstory on me and my stepdaughter. She just graduated from university, which I paid for. Now, she went to an in-state university, but it still cost me about $40,000. Now, I also bought her a car. I bought her a car straight after high school. That way she could go back and forth to school. I bought her a car. She still lives with me and her mother. She does not have a job. Now, she's set to be married on August the 8th. And for the past 6 months, that's all her mother been talking about doing, being occupied with, being consumed most of their time. Now, her daddy, he don't contribute to not 1 cent on her, not her education, not child support, which is partly her mother's fault because, she didn't fight for that. And I guess that's just what the settlement was. And he only around to make promises. I do that for you. I do this for you, and then take off. And then she'd be heartbroken. But she adores her father, right? So, like I said, she's set to be married in August. And the wedding venue, I told them they could have it in my home. The wedding venue can hold about 250 people, right? Now, I said, hey, I got a list of 20 people that I want to come to the wedding. I'm paying for this at my house. I want these 20 people to come. Do y'all know Saturday, I see one of my friends at the golf course, right? He's supposed to come to the wedding. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see you at the wedding, right? He said, I only got an announcement. I didn't get an invite. I'm like, nah. I'll let my girlfriend and stepdaughter know to send out the invitations on these few people, and you're supposed to get an invite. He said, I got something, but it was an announcement. So we walked to his car because I want to check, right? And sure enough, it was an announcement. So I went and talked to my girlfriend and said, did you invite those 20 people to the wedding that I told you about? Man, she didn't invite none of them. She said 250 people was a little tight, and I don't think we can get your 20 people in there. Man, I was pissed. And the people that were supposed to come, they pissed as well. Then she's going to say, if any other people that we already invited don't RSVP, then we'll get some of your people in here. I'm like, what? Man, that's crazy, man. Don't even worry about it, man. I'll just be mad. All right? So now, the crazy part about it is, when I check the invitations, they don't even have my name on them. They have her real daddy and her on the invitation that I paid for. I paid for these invitations. How you got a real daddy on there, her mama on there? Cool. Couple days later, I'm hosting the venue at my house, hosting the wedding family at my house, okay? It's me, stepdaughter, girlfriend, groom, and their parents, right? Trying to help everybody get real acquainted. Then a surprise guest shows up, my stepdaughter's real daddy. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. He probably just coming to the wedding, right? But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up and announce that her real daddy is giving her away at the wedding. What? The wedding that I'm paying for, that in my house, the daddy don't do nothing for you, is giving you away? And they were just so happy and smiling. Yay, great. Inside, I was fuming. Inside, I wanted to cry or punch somebody. Probably wanted to do both, honestly. So I took that time to stand up and give a toast as well. I said, I owe the groom and the bride a deep debt of gratitude because they have opened my eyes tonight. Oh, everybody at the table was just smiling. They have let me know that my position in this family is not what I thought it was. Oh, you should have saw the frowns, man. Now they mad. It done got serious. I let them know I am not the godfather or, the head of the family that I thought I was, the loved one that would be seeked out in times of need. Nah. I realized I'm an ATM. Yeah. So since I have been replaced as host of the wedding, I shall be giving my financial duties to the new host. And I will back out monetarily. Yeah. Yep. Now, after the announcement, a whole lot of snickering was going on around the table, right? A lot of mumbling, but they didn't say anything to me. Nobody addressed me now. Now, later that night, tell me why my girlfriend gonna come to me talking about how I'm ruining so much, how I'm ruining so much for backing out, and how her daughter ain't gonna have her dream wedding, and how her daughter ain't this and that. Okay, well, it's apparent that I'm not family in this family. So the family should take care of it, right? That's my stepdaughter. I mean, it ain't even my stepdaughter, really. It's my girlfriend. I just happen to be around her for the last 10 years. But tell me why the next day, my girlfriend trying to show me how much I'm ruined, right? She takes me to where they planning the wedding, and the wedding planner showed me, all the things they got going down, everything they got set up. I look at the venue. They got some father-daughter dances, right? 3 songs. All of them cater to her real dad, not me. I looked at the food they got. 2 of the dishes got stuff I'm allergic to in it. I just started laughing. Like, they want me to pay for this? His name on it, not mine. His songs, not mine. The food, I can't eat the food. And the 20 people out of 250 that I wanted, they can't even come in my house? Wow. Okay. It's wild, man. So I went on ahead and let her know I will not be there, and neither will my money. Yeah. And they would no longer be at my house either. And you would no longer be at my house or your daughter. Because, yeah, I'm not family. I'm not even important enough to be put up on the brochure. It's crazy, man. Yeah. So I let her know that I'm not paying for it, and you and your daughter can get out of my house because apparently we're not a family. Yeah, we just 2 people stand up in this house, and I'm an ATM. Have fun at the wedding, man.
You heard that? So we're gonna unpack this, and I want you to get your thoughts together. There's a couple things in here that I noticed out the rip, but I want to get your take, and I want to try to give some resolution, some redress to this, some perspective as to what you all thought, and we're gonna take it apart. And again, the reason why I want to do this is because there's a lot of brothers that don't get an opportunity to share how they feel. Like, some brothers wouldn't even say this. This happens to guys all the time, right? And we're gonna talk a little bit about what I think his mistake was, and maybe how he could have handled it better, or maybe you can give us some ideas of what you think, right? Some comments. So I see that some of you are comment, but first I want to ask you, what do you think about this? Like, do you think just overall, do you think he was right? Do you think he was wrong in his perspective? And while you're putting that in the chat, I want you to So so Bertha, Elder Brown says I would not have paid either. Okay, fair enough. So we're gonna take this apart a little bit tonight. We're gonna take it apart, and I'm going to try to stop and start it so that we could, kind of go through it. Hope that makes sense. Let's see here. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. If you want to come on and talk about it, I will put the link in the chat so that we could talk about it.
All right. She wants her real daddy to walk her down the aisle. Now, let me give you a little backstory on me and my stepdaughter. She just graduated from university, which I paid for. Now, she went to an in-state university, but it still cost me about $40,000. Now, I also bought her a car. I bought her a car straight after high school. That way she could go back and forth to school. I bought her a car. She still lives with me and her mother. She does not have a job. Now, she's set to be married on August the 8th.
Okay, so the first thing that I noticed in this when I first started, like I said, when I first started looking at this, is he automatically starts referring to this young lady as his stepdaughter. Right? That is engraved in his head, right? Obviously, because he actually starts out by saying my stepdaughter and her mother, which normally people would say my stepdaughter and my wife, but already we know there's a disconnect in this, and later on that unpacks it, right? So he's already putting money out. He's helping with the family. He's helping with the daughter. He's helping. He bought her a car. He paid for the schooling. And the first question is, I know you're raising all of this, so why? Right? Why? And again, stepfather, the title is stepfather refuses to pay for wedding because she chooses her father, her real dad, which that's and so that's already a clue, right? So let's get into this.
And for the past 6 months, that's all her mother been talking about doing. Not have a job.
So she's getting married. She lives with the family. She lives with him and her mother. She went to school. Now she's getting married. And he's saying all this because he's saying that I'm supporting her, which he's probably the mother and the father. This guy is probably supporting her, right? So he's probably not doing it all his own. He's saying that he bought her a car. Fine, right? He bought her a car, but of course, perhaps he probably couldn't do it all on his own, right? Because y'all know as well as I do what it takes two to run a home. I don't know. I'm just this is kind of speculative on my part. But he said I bought her a car and I paid for her college. I don't know. Right. But I hear you, brother. Right. You're saying this stuff and you make it sound like you're the only one doing this stuff. All right. But that's okay. And if you are, that's what a brother should do. He should hold it down if that's what y'all doing. Now let's go a little deeper here.
Now, she's set to be married on August the 8th. And for the past 6 months, that's all her mother been talking about doing. Being occupied with, being consumed most of their time. Now,
I don't know. Okay. I want to start. I don't know why that's important to mention. I'm just still I'm trying to get into the head of this guy. I don't know why that's important to mention that that's all they've been doing. That's all they've been consumed with. And maybe you guys can give me some ideas why you think he mentioned that. I don't know why he mentioned that. And apparently there's a disconnect, right? That's all they've been talking about. That's all she's been consumed with. I don't know. It sounds like there's a little jealousy there, right? It sounds like there's a little resentment. Like I'm feeling like I'm not a part of this. All right, let's go. And that should have, listen, brother. And I want to say this to you are not a part of this, right? And I think it was clear as to who you were. I think that was clear. Because the fact that no one's asking you any questions, no one's considering you. It looks like you were not a part of this, and that's a tell. That's a flag. Okay, so let's get into this. I hope some brothers get out here and help us with this thought. Let's go ahead.
Her daddy, he don't contribute to not one.
Okay. So now he's talking about the father. Let's go. He's already talking about the father. You don't contribute 1 cent. Now, again, that brother, I don't know why you bring him up, right? Because that's something you took on. And listen, this is me now. Y'all brothers, y'all can come at me. We can talk about it. But this is something you decided to take on. I don't even know why you brought him up in that instance. But okay, let's go.
Her daddy, he don't contribute to not 1 cent on her. Not her education, not child support, which is partly her mother's fault because she didn't fight for that. And I guess that's just what the settlement was. And he only around to make promises. I do that for you. I do this for you.
Wait. So I want to back up here. He said something that caught me. Let's
that's just what the settlement was. And
so now he's making excuses. Let's
her
go.
Mother's fault because she didn't.
Okay, so now here we go. I want y'all to pick this apart.
On her, not her education.
So he says the father didn't pay 1 cent on her, not on education, nothing. Right? Now listen to this. This is how he comes at this.
Contribute to not 1 cent on her.
I want y'all to also to pick apart his demeanor. Right? Look at this. Like, this is a resentment on his part. Like, he's upset that the father of this child is not contributing 1 cent. And listen, here we go. As far as he knows. Right? As far as he knows. So this must have been a divorce of some sort. And he got to also understand, this is her biological father, which does not tie. Listen, money don't tie kids to their parents. That's a mistake a lot of people make. They think just because you give money that the kid should be loyal or listen, that money don't mean the same thing to children as it means to adults. Okay? So that's a problem. That's a mistake. Here we go.
Being occupied with, being consumed most of their time. Now, her daddy, he don't contribute to not 1 cent on her. Okay, so it goes from the wedding to the daddy. Now, let me tell y'all, okay. There's a flag here. There's a flag. He used a term of endearment. I want y'all to listen to this. He says, her daddy. Let me tell you something. If he had said father, that to me would have been more distinctive. But daddy is a term of endearment. Are you following what I'm saying to you? And I'm sure this is what the daughter calls her father, daddy. He's even referring to him as daddy, which to me, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if you doing all this work and all that for her, and you're referring to the guy as daddy, I don't know. That seems a little, he feels just disrespected. Yeah, he does. But I'm gonna pack that because I think this guy. Okay, let's go. He's mocking daddy. Okay, is that your point? Not
okay.
Her education.
I got you. Maybe okay.
Not child support, which is partly her mother's fault.
Okay, not education, not child support, but it's probably the mother's fault. He don't know. Right? Probably. I don't know. That probably to me is a oh, come on,
because she didn't fight for that. And I guess that's just what the settlement was. And
do a lot of guessing. Probably the mother's fault. I guess that's what the settlement was. You don't know? This is supposed to be stepchild. Y'all supposed to be, y'all living together. Y'all in a relationship. These are conversations that always should be held. Right? These are not, you should not be oblivious as to what the arrangement was. Right? I mean, y'all past dating. Y'all living together. You referring to this child as your stepchild, right? And you buying her cars, paying her school bill. You don't know what this deal was, what the arrangement was. He said probably a mother's fault, right? So if it's a mother's fault, what you up in arms with the dude for, right? Because obviously if he's not contributing anything and that's not the agreement she had, then why even bring it up? There's nothing to talk about here. Let's go.
He only around to make promises. I do that for you. I do this for you, and then take off. And then she'd be heartbroken. But she adores her father, right? So, like I said, she's set to be married in August.
But if she adores her father, there's nothing you can do to compete with that. Listen, there's something about the children and their natural parents. Man, first of all, the fact that you think that's not going to be the case, in my opinion, you already missed it. In my opinion, if you thought by you paying cars and school and all that kind of stuff, and you thought she was going to be so wonderful in love with you and you're going to replace their father, man, you was already on the wrong. That is a mistake. All right. All right, here we go.
August. And the wedding venue, I told them they could have it in my home. The wedding venue can hold about 250 people, right? Now I said, hey, I got a list of 20 people.
Here we go. I want y'all to listen to this. You can have it, here we go, in my home. Not home. So y'all see the disconnect? Y'all see the problem here? You can have the wedding in my home. Now, this is what he's saying in the video. Now, y'all, that to me is that's big. This is not our home. My home. Not our home, not at home. Okay. So there's a power struggle here. And maybe he's sharing this to give some context as to all that he's willing to do, which all to me sounds monetary and materialistic. All this is materialistic. All of it. All his position is never talked about. The only time he talked about intimacy with this child or what this young lady wanted or any type of relational conversation was when he referred to her and how much she adores her father. You got that? Remember that now. So only thing he contributes, because he positioned himself as the ATM, as he refers to later on in our video. But that's how he sees himself. In fact, that's his claim to fame. That's his his largest contribution, which apparently he thinks should matter to her. To a child who just got out of college, who's now getting married, all of a sudden she's going to be endearing to you, because y'all know when parents split up, right? The parent that is not with the child tend to be the one that the kids want to be with. All right. So that's just, and he ain't no young dude. He got gray in his beard. And I know this cat. He's been around a while. So he ain't no young dude. Here we go. And sometimes, sometimes, brothers, let me tell you, you can be like, I pay this, I pay that. That could be your claim to fame. But trust me, that's all you're going to get. Right? If you're not building relationship, if you're not, you're not into that well-being where that child is always going to feel like she's a visitor. She never felt like that was her home. She probably never even felt like you was her stepfather based on what you're saying. You're just paying money and thinking that somehow or another you should get that respect. I don't know. Here we go. Tashay, I'm going to read some of your comments. Tashay, let me go back here. All gonna read yours in a minute. So here we go. I got some good comments in here. Here we go. Oh, I remember this video. Wow, that's a shame. Elder Brown says, wow, that's a shame. Deaconess Barrett says, well, I remember that video. Lady Chris says, yes, my stepdaughter and my mother and her mother, not my wife, not fiance. Okay. Her mother sounds distant. Elder Brown says, Lady Chris, I think the same thing. Lady Chris says, of course, because the planning didn't involve him. The time with his girlfriend was absent because of all of the time dedicated planning the wedding. Elder Barrett says, the bottom line, the disrespect started with the mother and this misleading on the mother's part. Rivalry, Lady Chris says, mother's fault, says because of the settlement, he feels obligated to the stepdaughters financially. I think aggravation, I think, is leading up to the disrespect. Lady Yates says, seems like he feels disrespected. Mockery daddy. Okay, I'm just breezing through here, but the money part, my home, not home. Lady Chris says, he was always the ATM. Lady Yates says, he in his feelings, he's putting out feeling left out. Okay, good. He didn't talk about their relationship without the father. Okay, so here we go. All right, so those are good comments. I don't know if there's anybody on YouTube commenting at all. I don't see anyone commenting. If you want to chime in here, I'm going to hold on a second. I'm going to put in the link for those who might want to come on and have and talk. So I'm going to put this in the I'm gonna put this in the link on okay, so it's in the link on YouTube, and I'm going to someone over here. Okay, here we go. Mason, we had a fire alarm go off at my school this afternoon. Why is he putting that in here? Who is this? A man automatically becomes a father. Let me talk about me. My daughter knew her real father, but Big Sam was okay. So this is good, but Big Sam was there as her daddy. When my season ICU, I was in a coma. Oh, I didn't know you were in a coma, Sister Mona. I was in a coma for 3 days. When I woke up, Big Sam was the first one to tell me where I was, and I had a baby. If the shoe was on the other foot, then what? Okay. Interesting. I get it. Okay. So somebody said they had a fire at the school. Who was this? Mason D'Angelo. I don't know who that is. All right. So maybe a wanderer. Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's dig into this a little bit more. And I want to put the information in the. I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to put the. I'm going to put the thing in the chat. So if anybody wants to come on later, I could send them the link. Okay. Yeah, let me put this in the. Oh, my brother Elion, he shared it. He must be doing something else because I know if he was available, he'd be like, "Yep, I got something to say about this." All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go to my page and put it in here. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to. Okay, here we go. Yep, there it is. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that in there like that. Going back over here, and let's get into it. All right, so here we go. So
that I want to come to the wedding. I'm paying for this at my house.
Again, my house.
Now I said, hey, I got a list of 20 people that I want to come to the wedding. I'm paying for this at my house. I want these 20 people to come. Do y'all know Saturday, I see one of my friends at the golf course.
So brother Elion, this is the subject is this brother. We went through the whole video. Maybe you can go back and check it out in the beginning, but he's living with he called this girl his stepdaughter, and he put her through school, he paid for her car and all this kind of stuff. Now she's getting married, and she wants her real father to be a part of this. So that's where we are, and we're unpacking this. Okay, hope that helps you. You're a pretty sharp guy. I'm sure you can read between lines. Let's go.
Have in my home. The
my home.
You can hold about 250 people, right?
Okay.
Now I said, hey, I got a list of 20 people that I want to come to the wedding. I'm paying for this at my house. I want these 20 people to come. Do y'all know Saturday, I see one of my friends at the golf course, right? He's supposed
to. Okay. All right, here we go. My house, my money, your wedding. I got 20 people I want to come. It ain't your wedding. It's her wedding, her day. But you want these 20 people to come. Got it. Got it. Come on. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all a chance to talk. I want y'all to chime in. Let's go.
To come to the wedding. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see you at the wedding, right? He said, I only got an announcement. I didn't get an invite. I'm like, nah. I'll let my girlfriend and stepdaughter know to send out the invitations.
All right, so this where I'm kind of confused on it. First of all, my girlfriend and my stepdaughter. Make that make sense. So now again, just for the continuity, my girlfriend and my stepdaughter. So, brother, it's a disconnect. My girlfriend and my stepdaughter. How's she your stepdaughter? You didn't marry that woman, so that's your girlfriend's daughter. That's where you're messing up. This is even you're not even paying attention to how you even see yourself in this whole situation. Y'all comment. All right, here we go. Let's back a little bit.
These few people.
He says
you're supposed to get it.
He want this.
I'll let my girlfriend and stepdaughter know to send out the invitations on these few. My friends at the golf course, right? He's supposed to come to the wedding. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see you at the wedding, right? He said, I only got an announcement. I didn't get an invite. I'm like, nah. I'll let my girlfriend and stepdaughter know to send out the invitations on these few people, and you're supposed to get an invite. He said, I got something, but it was an announcement. So we walked to his car because I want to check, right? And sure enough, it was an announcement. So I went and talked to my girlfriend and said, did you invite those 20 people to the wedding that I told you about? Man, she didn't invite none of them. She said 250 people was a little tight, and I don't think we can get your 20 people in there. Man, I was pissed.
All right. My man Elion said he gonna join. Of course he's gonna join because he's the pontificator. All right, so let's unpack some more of this. I don't see you yet, man, but you'll let me know. I'm on StreamYard. I sent the link. I don't know how you're coming in. You're coming in. All right, when you show up, when I get the alert, it'll show up. All right, cool. All right, y'all ready? Y'all share this. This is gonna be good. We're gonna unpack this. We're gonna get some perspective. I'm gonna give some of my brother's perspective tonight. All right, so y'all see that? She like, well, there's 250 people coming, and we couldn't get your 20. We couldn't get your 20 in. Woo! Okay, bro, Ham. Okay. This ain't new. You acting new, but this ain't new. This kind of disrespect been going on for a while, Slick. All right, and let me tell you, he's gonna say something in a few minutes that's gonna tell the whole gamut. All right, and I don't mean to laugh at my man. It's just comical how, I don't know. Let's go. Come on, listen. I don't even know. I'm having a hard time feeling. Let's go. I'm gonna keep my comments. Let's go.
Invite. He said, I got something, but it was an announcement. So we walked to his car because I want to check, right? And sure enough, it was an announcement. So I went and talked to my girlfriend and said, did you invite those 20 people to the wedding?
To my girlfriend, he didn't know what to call her. Now she the girlfriend, stepdaughter with a girlfriend. Come on, bro. This is not good.
That I told you about?
Did you invite the 20 people that I told you about?
Man, she didn't invite none of them. She said 250 people is a little tight, and I don't think we can get your 20 people in there. Man, I was pissed. And the people that were supposed to come, they pissed as well. Then she's going to say, if any other people that we already invited don't RSVP, then we'll get some of your people in here. I'm like, what? Man, that's crazy, man. Don't even worry.
Let me ask you a question, and y'all can put this on the table. This level of disrespect is significant. This is not, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Oh, no, it's like, this is crazy. There's something wrong with this. There is something wrong with this. Just the way she's disrespecting him to his own, by his own account now. I mean, he's actually saying, like, yo, like, this is ugly disrespect. Okay, this is like, I don't care what you got to say. I don't care if it is your house. I don't care if you are paying the money. This is like, you better act like something's going on with this. All right, something going on with this. There's something that we don't know just by the way this woman is disrespecting this cat. All right, there's something that we don't know. Let's go.
About him, and I'd just be mad. All right. So now, the crazy part about
here we go. Here we go.
I checked the invitation.
Stop. I want you to put in. I want you to see what he said. I want to back up right here. This is what he said.
Man, that's crazy, man. Don't even worry about it, man. I'd just be mad.
See, let's listen to this. Listen to this, y'all. I know I talk a lot, and y'all probably getting tired of me interrupting, but bear with me.
We already invited, don't RSVP. Then we'll get some of your.
So your people are leftovers. They're on the waiting list. That's what she's saying essentially. But listen to how this plays out.
People in here. I'm like, what? Man, that's crazy, man. Don't even worry about it, man. I'd just be mad.
You see that? What? Don't even worry about it. That's crazy, man. That's what he says. I'll just be mad. My brother Reverend's here. Dr. Reverend. I got you in here, man. You online with me. So somebody's bugging. So, brother, have you had a chance to listen to this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're at the part where he's saying, and I've done some commentary. I'm gonna let you give a redress or just a kind of intro up to this point. But we're at the part where she says, your people, if we can get them in there, we'll let them get in. But if not, it is what it is. He's like, well, what? I was mad. And then he said, all right, well, that's it. I'll just be mad. All right, where you at on that?
Pastor, let me tell you something. Hella freeze over before. It'll be a cold day. You hear me? So,
but do you see the disrespect? I mean, do you find something interesting? I mean, just by the way he's willing to let this go.
Well, this is layers. If this is a real story, I think we have to put that too. But there's significant layers of of disrespect that makes this behavior
Mhm.
at any point acceptable in the mind of a female. And I'm not degrading women by saying that, but for it to get to the point where you wasn't even going to tell me that the money I spent wasn't going to go to none of you, the day would have come and I would have never found out. That was built up. And so I think what happens is it's all good to be a good person, but sometimes I think yes men may get walked over a little bit, and then when it's this magnified, you can't ignore it. But his statement was, I'll hold that, I'll just be mad. So he not mad enough yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right, let's go. We're gonna go a little deeper in this. All right, so here we are.
All right. So now, the crazy part about it is when I check the invitations, they don't even have my name on them. They have her real daddy and her on the invitation that I paid for. I paid for these invitations. How you got a real daddy on there, her mama on there? Cool. Couple days later,
Wait.
hosting the venue at my house.
Wait.
Hosting
So
the wedding family at my house. Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Should he expect to have his name on those invitations?
No.
No, right?
No. Now, I think this does go back to something you said earlier about the stepdaughter and my girlfriend joint. I want to separate the thinking. If we talk in church people, I mean, I can understand church people holding the marriage philosophy, but if it's a secular relationship and it sounds like these people have been together for a while, they would kind of fall under common law. And if he's played a significant role in the young girl's life, I can understand him holding the claim of stepdad. If he's paying, you put her through school. I wasn't married to your mom then. I paid for your car. I wasn't married to your mom then. And so he's functioning in the only way he knows how to, and that's providing provision. I think the problem comes in, though, even if I pay for something or if you pay for something, you have to understand that there's still boundaries there. If her father is alive and she wants him there, that's her day. And it would be disrespectful to her father, whether he can afford the wedding or not, for him to come to the wedding and see another man's name on there. I don't know. But if her father's not alive or not present, then I don't see an issue with that.
So let me tell you, this guy, I've known of him a while back, based on what you said. You know, maybe it's true, not true. I don't know. And he used to be a pastor, and he left the faith. And so you're kind of getting this mix. That's what you're hearing a little bit of, the stepdaughter and the provision and all that kind of thing. That kind of comes from a little of that, right? And so and again, he's expecting to have his name, which you didn't marry the woman, right? You're not really, you're just a boyfriend, but you want the respect. I mean, that's just what you're like. You're the uncle, you're the boyfriend, you're the right, because you haven't really solidified yourself into this family or embraced them in a way that you want to marry this woman. Like, you don't even, my wife, I think, put in here, you don't even call them your fiance, the woman your fiance. I want to read a couple of comments. Lady Chris says here, how does a woman plan a wedding with her daughter knowing the boyfriend is paying and doesn't include him? Right? How does that happen? Maybe the ex, someone said, Sister Gracie, y'all been talking in here. All right. Whoa, I missed all this. I'm just trying to give everybody a voice here. If he's paying, then he should be included. Okay, that's Elder Brown. Lady Chris says, I'm sure there were red flags prior. Elder Wood said, more than a red flag. maybe the ex. Elder Wood Brown said. Exactly. People comment. Barrett says they were not married. Okay, they were not married. and she says, we know how that they talk. Come on. I feel they should have been a conversation about the wedding. I agree. And the daddy takes some financial responsibility towards the wedding. Okay. Lady Chris says, but this is the chance that you take without communication. Elder Wood says you should have been included. He should have been included. Okay. All right. So good. All good comments. Let's go. I want to go down the road a little bit. He's mad, right? We left off. He's mad because he's not included. The name is not on the invitation. I don't know. What do you put on there? Right? Just your name. Who are you? Again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm gonna give you a disclaimer in a little while. Let's go, because I think I know why this cat is acting. I have an idea why this woman may be acting like this.
I do too.
Okay, let's go. But this is the chance you take. Okay, what am I? Here we go. They should have communicated. Elder Wood, Gracie's Barrett says, when people die and they were not married, it said they're common. Their companion. It's their companion. Okay, fair enough. All right, let me go. I know I'm losing people because people are messing. I'm doing a lot of talking. Let's go.
It's me, stepdaughter, girlfriend, groom, and their parents, right? Trying to help
Hold on.
at my house, okay? It's me, stepdaughter, girlfriend, groom, and their parents, right? Trying to help everybody get real acquainted. Then a surprise guest shows up.
I'm sorry.
My stepdaughter's real daddy. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. He probably just coming to the wedding, right? But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up.
Hold on.
And their parents.
Hold
right?
on. Hold on.
They have her real daddy and her on the invitations that I paid for. I paid for these invitations. How you got a real daddy on there, her mama on there? Cool. Couple days later, I'm hosting the venue at my house, hosting the wedding family at my house, okay? It's me, stepdaughter, girlfriend, groom, and their parents, right? Trying to help everybody get real acquainted.
All right. Any comment, brother? You want to keep going?
Keep going.
Okay.
My part is in the next 30 seconds.
Okay, here we go.
Then a surprise guest shows up. My stepdaughter's real daddy. And I'm like, you know what? Cool. He probably just coming to the wedding, right? But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up and announce that her real daddy is giving her away at the wedding.
All right. Is that your part?
Mm-hmm.
You want to comment?
Yeah. So what's going on with mom and the real dad that this man don't know who coming to his house?
How about them apples? That's been the tale the whole time, man, in my mind.
Yeah, so there's more to the story. And again, if this story is true, if it's not just like a video for clout, I am very invested in the fact that this man knows something more is going on. Mm-hmm. And his attitude towards another guy and that other guy's daughter makes clear to me how he really feel about the other guy and his wife or his girlfriend. Because most men understand the struggle that men go through with their kids' moms. We get it. If you ever had a baby mother, you not trying to stand in the way of nobody and their kids. You get the struggle. You respect it, no shade. It is what it is. It's just a journey in itself. So you're not sitting in the way of that. So for you to be so invested in just his showing up at a time, this sounds like to me this is the rehearsal dinner. It's something before the wedding. And why wouldn't the father be there? You get what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't the real father be there? So for you to be so pressed about him coming, and for you not to have known that he was coming, I have a problem with you, and I have a problem with the mother who knew this man was coming, and then think to tell you that she was bringing her baby father into your home.
Into your home without you knowing.
Right.
Nah, that there's a whole lot in that, and I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. There is some disconnect, and I think that there's a backstory to this, and I'm going to tell you at the end of this. I know something about kind of how this guy thinks because he has some other videos that he actually put out. But I want to let's walk through this. This is good. Let's keep going. Elder Barrett said, my question: did he know the colors to the wedding? Yeah, he probably didn't know nothing. But let's go. He paid for it, but you don't have a clue. They ain't talked to him about nothing. And how does that conversation go? Oh, write me a check, right? So let's play that out. You're paying for the wedding, and they don't tell you anything. But when it comes to paying the bills, they gotta come to you, right? That's why, to your point, brother, you were saying, I don't know if this is even true. Like, where does this happen at? Like, just think logistically. Like, when it's time to pay the money, how you still paying? And like, how did no one answers to you, but you writing the check? Like, I don't get that.
If it was any of the people I know, and I'm not saying I'm petty. I don't think I'm petty. There's some other words I want to say right now, but woo, boy. So I guess, yeah, man. The venue would have there would have been a change of a venue. They would have had this wedding at the funeral home. Like it would have been at Kmart. There's no way this wedding is going to happen at my house, and there's so much disrespect that's just happening.
Yeah, and you just letting it go, man. Like, you eating it all up. Like, somehow or another, you have no leverage, and I don't. There's something wrong with this story. Elder Wood says, how long was he the stepdad for him to be surprised? Was the father not there at all? No, he said he was coming around making promises early in the video, right? He said he was coming around making promises, and he let her down. Making promises, let her down. So he was always around. So he wasn't like absent, to this guy's point, because he kept saying he come around making promises and he dropped her and she all heartbroken. But yeah, so he wasn't like absent, completely absent. So yeah, all right, let's go.
What? The wedding that I'm paying for in my house, the daddy don't do nothing for you? It's giving you away? Oh, and they were just so happy and smiling. Oh, yay, great. Inside, I was fuming. Inside, I wanted to cry or punch somebody. Probably want to do both, honestly. So I took that time to stand up and give a toast as well.
Something wrong with this
I
story.
said, I owe the groom and the bride a deep debt of gratitude because they have opened my eyes tonight. Oh, everybody at the table was just smiling. They have let me know that my position in this family is not what I thought it was. Oh, you should have saw the frowns, man. Now they mad. It done got serious. I let them know I am not the godfather or, the head of the family that I thought I was, the loved one that would be seeked out in times of need.
This is listened to a couple of times now. I'm like, I think this is kind of made up. I'm getting the feeling like, I don't know, man. It seems too theatrical. Like, it don't seem.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Do we even need to hear the rest of this video? I think I think he's a good conversation starter, but I think we've talked to enough people. We know enough true stories that, like, most people can't get to this level of disrespect because they don't have the financial means of this individual, right? Mm-hmm. But we've seen people endure some stuff that's real life. So we can maintain with this conversation on just the basis of what we already know about people.
Okay, so what I want to say, I hear your point. So because I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Because I think there's more of this conversation that we need to talk about. But I do want to get to the part, and again, he starts talking about he put them out of the house. And there's a part I want to get to when he starts talking about that she's really not my
parent, that
daughter.
I'm not family.
Oh, so he puts them out the house, tell them they both can leave. Did you heard that part earlier, right? I mean, I don't know if you got a chance to listen.
And the 20 people out of 250?
Hold on a second.
They can't even come in my house. Wow. Okay. It's wild, man. So I went on ahead and let her know I will not be there, and neither will my money. Yeah. And they will no longer be at my house either. And you will no longer be at my house or your daughter. Because, yeah, I'm not family. I'm not even important enough to be put up on the brochure. It's crazy, man. Yeah. So.
All right. So you're right. I think we heard it, right? I think we got it. So let's take my man off here. Let's have the conversation. There is clearly, now let me tell you a little bit about this guy that I and this is probably the part. There was a time, and again, if this story is real, there was a time that he was in polygamy.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple of girlfriends and stuff like that. And this makes sense because the reason why he called her, we were somebody for 10 years. And you're referring to the daughter as your stepdaughter, but you definitely didn't marry the wife. And he probably couldn't because they can't marry legally, and not in the States, not in every state. But this is where I think the wife don't feel obligated to be as respectful as you think she should be, because there's definitely some challenges in that relationship, man. My point, just a blatant disrespect, and it wasn't based on his story. We're only going on what he's told us, but based on the story, it was not just like an accident of disrespect. It was like, we don't care what you think. Like, we don't care how you feel about who's coming to this wedding. And I don't care if you don't really, if your 20 people can make it or not. So what is at your house? So what you're paying for it? I mean, that's really kind of how he's putting this thing. Right? I mean, and then he's like, okay, I get it. Until the very end, like, you got to leave the house. It blow. Now what? They got to get kicked out the house? They can't live with you no more? I mean, he went from taking it to, like, all of a sudden now it's this big thing, like, I'm putting you all out the house. And he says this whole thing like, since I'm not family. Right? At the end. Since I'm not family, but you were never really family, man. Right? Not in the true sense of the word. You were the boyfriend. You were shacking up with this girl, we had this girl shacking up with, we call it shacking, with the daughter. I don't know why you think you entitled to all this respect. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, man.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not. I'm trying to sit in the system that he's in.
Okay.
Or that a person like him is in. When you merge households, that's family, right?
Okay.
Now I'm with you with the text. I'm the life I live is a little different than the life this gentleman lives. Mm-hmm. But when you merge households and you're committed to taking care of someone, to making sure all of their needs are provided, to making sure that they want for nothing, because we all know it's an embarrassment for a man's woman to need to go to anybody else for anything, not even toothpaste. We got it. Somehow we got it. So if he's investing at that level, he's family. So the first thing I'd say is, I think that what we're seeing in this story is one of the problems of, like, modern dating. There's a lack of ethics across the board, where one, people are dating, but not to actually get to marriage. They're dating to, like, just to date, waste time, just hang out, have fun. Mm-hmm. And I guess there is a season for that, but not when you playing with kids and you raising families and all of that stuff. That's a little different. So I think that's the first problem I have. The second problem I have, though, is on the side of the woman who finds a wealthy guy, and is like almost on a roller coaster. You're enjoying the ride but you don't have to invest anything. You don't have to give up in anything. You don't have to maintain anything. And I also will blame the guy here, because why are you investing at such a rate to someone, to an entire system that doesn't value you, that does not see you as not, more than just a contributing factor, more than just a bank account. So and I think the reason why I went there was when he stands up at the family dinner and makes this statement. It sounds like he's trying to give them one last chance to acknowledge him, to apologize, to see to see something. And if they don't, then he moves to the, all right, now y'all get out. But when you say, oh, I guess I'm not family like I thought I was, and you begin to sub off and all of that, you're really crying out for something. And that's not like a final decision. When I make a decision, I don't have to tell you why. It's done. Get out of my house. If you don't see the disrespect, there's nothing I can say that'll show it. So when he gets up to do that, it's clear that there's something he's longing for from the mom that he's not getting. So there's a relational dynamic that's off. And I would argue, if this was a real case, and I don't believe it is, but in other cases, I think we can say this. In other cases, we can say this, though. The man may have married her if she wanted to be married. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, why is it? Anyone that's that invested doing all of that, that man would have married her. She probably didn't want to be married. But she enjoys the luxurious life that this gentleman can provide her.
So I agree that, listen, I agree that he deserves, because there's a comment here. Chris says, what did the groom have to do with it? Oh, okay. So she's talking about the groom, like, and that's an interesting point too. Nobody really talked about it. Who else? How long? Okay, we read that already. So Dickinson Barrett says it was serious before the wedding. This took place before the wedding. Ain't that called cheating? I guess you're referring to him being in a polygamy relationship. And he said he deserves respect because of how he provided for them. Okay. And Tasha said he had enough in that moment. And Sister Grace said, last chance. They were blessed. They were blessed. They were able to say, I do. Okay, that's where, okay. They were blessed. They were able to say, I do. Okay. So, and I get it. I think that the disrespect is palatable. It's like, it's major, right? Because it's just because it was disrespectful. And I don't think anyone really deserves disrespect, right? And clearly he felt he was disrespected. And I always teach this. You got to manage your disappointments, right? Like, you have to learn, because some things you insert yourself into knowing that you don't command that kind of level of respect or that significance. So clearly, before this even got to this point, you knew how they regarded you. You're living in a house with somebody, right? You could tell how people treat you when you're living with them. So again, this is not a story that just popped up. This is y'all been living together. So this kind of disrespect happens all the time. They eat your food. They don't provide nothing for you. This don't happen in this moment. You just now putting this out here, but disrespect has been happening. Now, again, should he have been disrespected? No. But it's up to him to do something about the disrespect, which clearly he did not. Right? And now he think he's going to do something about it at the end of it when kicking everybody out the house. But I think this guy, and I think someone said he had enough. He was fed up. He got to a point where that was it. Enough's enough. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling some kind of way about this. I don't think this is really. I think this guy I think this guy just, I don't know. There's something going on, man. You know what it reminds me of? Excuse me. I see this with a lot of guys who get caught cheating, and then they're trying to make it up, right? They take a lot of abuse because now once you cheat, there's disrespect, right? Once you've been caught a couple times and you trying to, oh, baby, please, baby, please, you take a lot of hits, right? And this kind of has a whiff of this, right? In my opinion, because no guy really takes this level of disrespect this much unless he feels indebted, unless he feels like, only time I've seen guys take, like, alpha guys who they take this because, man, you got caught and you just trying to hang on to this relationship. So I think there's a whiff of that in here, in my opinion.
You do?
Yeah. I think this guy is just trying to hang on to this woman, and this kind of just pushed him overboard because there is no honor whatsoever. Like if everybody knows, if you're paying the bill, the Bible talks about your gift should make room for you. And I know a lot of people read that text, they think that means that, I got gifts that may open doors. No, that's bribery. The real context of that text, from where I read it, is it's bribery. Like, you walk into, you hand the Major D of $20, $50 before you walk in, it's gonna make room. Like, they're gonna give you a seat. Places jam. Nope, this guy just gave me $100. He makes room. The restaurants that I visit, that I go to regularly, I tip very well, because I know that when I walk in, I get the waiter I want, I get the seating I want, because my gift, my money, makes room for me. Right? Mm-hmm. They start offering me things that they normally wouldn't. Like the other day, my wife and I went to dinner at one of my favorite restaurants, and I know I have a special waiter that I like to go to. Now, I haven't been in a while, and so my wife is like, I asked for my waiter, and she was like, "Oh, does he know you?" He said he probably doesn't remember me at all, not that much, but the fact that I asked for him by name, he knows I know him. Mm-hmm. And I must know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means something. And because I know he's one of their top waiters, that all the other people that works with him honors him. So the cook's going to make sure my meal is right. The guys that are my bus boys going to make sure I'm right. The bread guy, they're going to make sure everything is done perfection, because his antenna's up, is because he don't know how he knows me, but I know him. And that matters. That's what your gift does. So I think this guy really, I'm telling you, man, I think he messed up.
So, yeah, your gift will make room for you.
Go ahead.
Have you ever been, I don't do this too much because of how my mom taught me, but you ever been around somebody that tries to make room for themselves in places that they really not wanted, but people, they tolerate you because they need something. So I think that there's a curse to the gift. There's, if you got money, or you have resources, etc., sometimes it's easy to attract, like leeches, that are their job is to deplete you of what you have, but not to replenish, not to pour back in. So I wonder, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not a real story, but if it was, I think what we would be able to conclude from it is the man that finds a girl that's way out of his league and does everything he can to keep up with this princess that he out of his league, and he treats her like she's out of his league. Because the problem is her behavior now at the point that we're getting, because one, I don't know too many men that's gonna get up and tell a story about how disrespected they've been for the whole world to pick apart. I'm not cussing, but there's just no way. I say that, but there's just no way. There's no way. That's kind of funny. There's no way that I'm gonna take this level of disrespect and then go testify about it on camera. Tell the whole world that, like, yo, you can treat me how you want and I'm gonna pay for it. Nah. So I would be open to considering how this girl looks, how long he wanted this girl, how long he pursued this girl, all the loops and things he had to jump through to get this girl. Like I talk with brothers all the time, and one thing we oftentimes talk about is the pursuit. Like I'm sorry, if I got to jump through 50 whoops and bands to get your attention, you ain't for me. Good. There's something in you that don't like me, and that's cool, mama. I respect that. I love that. I love that for you. But if I got to do all that to get your attention, that means you don't want me to have your attention. So if I got to provide you this lavish lifestyle, this long, pay for your kids, all of that, there's something significantly wrong with this level of thinking. So I think we have a high value, according to the Kevin Samuels nature, who does not understand the importance of not dating who you can, but dating who you need. Right? You can get her. Yeah, she's out there. But you might want to get that gift back. Because it seems like he can't keep up, and keep up is not just financial. There's some emotional factors missing. There are some boundaries that should never be. I don't care if you've been married 100 years. Most people know. You tell your spouse. You at least tell them. If not, ask them. This person is coming today. Especially a person of this kind of value, and I'm sure Mama know how he feel about her ex-husband or her baby father. So like those levels of disrespect are afforded by the person being disrespected. You've developed a custom, you developed a culture where said behavior is okay. And I think you've got to look internally. That's not her fault.
Yeah, I think that Elder Wood says here she didn't want to be married, and the father of the daughter knew this man was going to fill in where and when he did nothing. So yeah, I think to the point that, like what you're saying, that there's something driving this guy to get to this level of disrespect, and what that is hard to see in this. And I think I concede with you. I don't think this is a real story. But I think it's one that brings a lot of, I think there is a story out there like this, right? I think there is a guy who's being blatantly disrespected. I think there's a guy who's trying to in the context of what you mentioned, how you mentioned that he was trying to make sure he's trying to impress this woman, or he thinks she's a dime or whatever, that's allowing him to tolerate this level of disrespect, and then to kind of bellyache about it, right? Because I think all of this is his doing. I think all of this that happened is something that he allowed, and he continued to allow, and I think that's just where it's at. I think he wants to feel like, by telling the story, that he's vindicating himself, he's not dealing with it. But man, this was long. This happened a long time ago, right? This kind of disrespect happened a long time ago, and I just think that he if this is kind of what it is, I think he's just this guy, just something wrong with this.
So I'm sorry, Pastor.
Go ahead.
Where do we go from here, right? So we see the problem. Helping the next brother that's leading with his wallet, helping the next brother that's looking for the woman of his dreams, whatever that may be. It's a lot of dreams out there. So it is. So how do we encourage boundaries and standards of respect. Because the thing is, you can't buy that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You can't buy that. How do we encourage boundaries and standards of respect to protect individuals from getting to this place of brokenness in their covenants?
Well, let me say this. I'm going to read a comment here. It's pretty long here. Elder Barrett says, "Me being a woman and the job I did for 21 years, there was some women that sat at my desk. I was shamed. I had to read a lot of documents. There are some good men, and in my mama's voice, you can't go no lower than a snake's belly with some of the stuff those women did." Wow. There's always a breaking news flash. So to your point, what can, so you said, what can a man do to prevent something from happening, or if he's in a situation like this?
I'm speaking more on a preventative measure. So,
Okay.
How do you start yourself off implementing boundaries of respect that you don't tolerate certain things to prevent ever getting this far?
Well, the first thing you have to do is make sure that you understand what are your internal boundaries? Like, how do you see you? Right? Because I think at the end of the day, like, you ever have a situation when someone made a comment about someone or to their face, and everybody's like, ooh, but the guy that was made the comment toward didn't even realize it was disrespectful. Right? Because he didn't see it as disrespectful. I was listening to something the other day. Oh man, it just left me. A person was talking about, I forget who the guy was, but he was talking about how words didn't matter to him. The fact that someone said something about him, it'll come to me because it was a trending topic. Someone said something about him. He's like, that don't mean nothing to me. I don't care nothing about those words because they ain't got nothing to do with money. It's not real life. Oh, this guy, Anton. He's a YouTube guy, and he got into it with a comedian, Combs. You know Combs, the comedian. I forgot his first name. It'll come to me in a minute. But they had a podcast, and they got into this big argument. And Anton was like, I don't care about words. Words don't mean nothing to me. You can call me what you want to call me because it's not who I am. Until you put your hands on me, until you do something to me physically, then it's a problem. So my point is, there are people who really don't really think certain things are disrespectful because your boundary or your threshold or your level, what you consider respect, is based on how you see you. Mm-hmm. Right? So the first thing I would say, that in order for a person to be able to know, because some things you don't know they're disrespectful until it happens to you. Right? You like, it makes you feel some kind of way when somebody treats you some kind of way. And you feel some kind of like, oh, whoa, that, man, hold on. That didn't feel right. Right? Or like, so now that's your internal bound, like your internal threshold or your line. Or Corey Holcomb. Thank you, Sister Barrett. And so you don't know. So until you understand that, until you really understand it, then you won't know. But then once that starts happening, you'll smell it, man. You can sense it. I say smell, but you can sense when a woman is disrespecting you. Like for instance, you know, you're driving the car talking, all of a sudden somebody calls and she picks the phone, starts talking while you're having a conversation. Or she'll take some dude's information, like, you know, these are subtleties, but you start feeling it, like, this chick don't respect me.
That ain't subtle. That's
But you know
out.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, so as these things happen, right? This is very important. Knowing it's okay to walk away early on in relationships. Knowing it early on, like he did that whole joint where he explained all of that. A woman know when she being disrespectful, just like a man know when he being disrespectful. I'm not gonna talk to the waitress a certain way while I'm ordering food, flirting with her in your face. That's just left field. Um, that's a basic understanding. So if you do that in my face, in my presence, there's nothing else to talk about. You showed me how you value me, right? And so now I would be a fool to keep pursuing something when it's abundantly clear that the respect I need, that's men need more respect than we need love. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
That the respect I need is not there. So that's what my question was, is like, how do we stop brothers from getting this far out where your heart is on your sleeve on social media? It's the respect factor, and it's okay to see that that's not there. And I argue I wouldn't try to teach you that.
But why would you? So let me ask you a question. So once you know that, right? Like, well, let me ask this question. Why do you think, or what would you advise a brother who's in that space but really got his heart out there too far? Because sometimes what happens is you man, like, you already got plans, because women don't realize guys do the same thing about dreaming and hoping for family and different situations, different scenarios. How would you advise this brother if his heart is out here? Because and he know this chick is, well, this woman is like, he knows is disrespectful, right? He knows that she don't really got it for him, but he can't let go. What do you do to help that brother, man?
You can't.
He got to hit the wall. It's gotta blow up.
It's nothing you can. Okay, so men and women have this delusional phase. And the thing is, women, we hear about it more. Like, oh, in her mind, y'all already go together. That's very true. Mm-hmm. But in the guy's mind, he'll excuse stuff. He'll, and this is what we're seeing. He'll excuse stuff. He'll think things are a way he know they're not. So what happens is he has to get to an internal place that this is enough. So it's better to catch a person before they fall in love or in delusion or in love with a concept, in love with an idea. Catch them before that point, because once they fall, he'll cut off his homeboys, his grandmama, and she'll do the same. So once a guy is like that, there's nothing you can say. You got to let him live through that. But most people have a breaking point, and I hope that more brothers will get out before they get to that breaking point, because that's when we see the DVs and all of that other stuff. Is they were so invested, and when they find out that things aren't what they thought they were, their world comes tumbling down. So I guess my to make it short, if you want to help somebody, make sure that while they're looking or courting or whatever's going on, because folks don't date to marry no more. I wish they did. They don't. They don't. It's a sad generation we live in, and let's look at the divorce rates and what does it even mean to be married? It from a carnal perspective. Like what is that? I'm here today, but I'm not tomorrow. I want to make sure what I'm saying is clear from a carnal perspective. Mm-hmm. But the moment you realize that that's not for you, Don't waste time trying to make it.
You're right, man. Let me tell. So I've seen this kind of stuff, right? So, and I while you were talking, man, it made me think about a couple of situations that I have encountered pastoring over 35, 37 years, whatever, that I've been in. I've seen men who were in bad relationships, and one of the challenges that I've experienced, especially when I knew that the woman that this guy was with had no regard, no respect, and didn't appreciate who he was. You know what's crazy? Had nothing to do with him. Had nothing to do with him. And one of the things that I good to see you, Pastor Dancy. One of the things that I realized that I had to be very careful with how I counseled men like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't learn this until years later, right? Because your first initial reaction is, yo, man, she ain't no good. She don't love you. She don't care. You better get out, run, run while you can. And that advice, if he could take that and just pick that up and run with it, he'd be great. He'd be fine. He'll get through it and he'd be all right. But the problem was these guys were hopeless romantics, right? They loved the woman that they were with.
Mm-hmm.
They would give their right arm for the woman and would consider it an honor. The challenge is that she didn't know what she had in the guy. And
She
so
don't care
or didn't care, but that's the thing, right? This is the thing. So I had to be careful. And when I was driving this point was because I didn't want to become the villain. Because you got to remember that relationships like that have ebbs and flows and peaks and valleys, right? 1 minute they're at each other's throat. Next minute you better not, they can't stand you because you told them that person was no good. And they didn't forget. And a lot of them will tell the other person what you said.
will go right.
So now you're the villain and your counsel is nothing. You just became the evil person. So the thing is, so what I learned to do, I'll start off with giving direction, right? And just asking questions. And I'll find by my answers, because what you'll find is that they'll start making excuses for the woman, right? Even though they're in pain. And that's kind of what this guy did. He said, oh, it's probably not the girl's fault because the mother probably didn't get in the settlement. Right. So you start hearing little stuff like that. Oh, she was abused in the last relationship. That's why she's kind of acting out like this. Right. So now when you hear that brother defending her, that you got to back off because there is no rescuing that dude.
Nothing to say. And the thing
Right?
is, the person, and that's really frustrating when you sit in like the clinical moment or the counseling moment, depending on your skills, whatever word is most comfortable for you. But when you sit down to have those conversations, the person's mind is already made up that they're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
So they're really coming to you to ask you the impossible. How do I save this? And I'll say this. I don't put my business out there like that, but I'll never forget I had a conversation with my pastor, and she said, "You can stay, but your marriage over. Like you can do whatever you want to do." Yo, see, you. I mean, you want to go back in the house, go back in the house. But yeah. The things that make a marriage, the things that make a relationship, the things that trust and love and honor and integrity are built on, you've crossed every line. Both of you crossed every line.
Mm.
There's nothing else there. And I think that while there's not much we can say, There is a level of transparency that you can just say, listen, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. If you want to stay and try to fight through this, brother, I'm with you. But if I could be honest with you, this does not look good.
Well, and yeah, and that
getting out. Yeah,
what
I'm sorry.
What I did was I began to give, like, listen, this is how in a couple of, like I said, several cases, but one couple, they were fighting so much. I mean, they were fighting so much. I mean, and the stuff they were doing to each other was completely, like, just outright evil, right? Outright just evil. She would put the baby's feces in his work bag before, like, put it in there. He didn't know until he got to work, and he would put his hand to get his computer, and all of a sudden it was like poop. I mean, this is the kind of, they were calling cops on each other. This is the kind of stuff that they were. I mean, blatant. It's like she would cheat on him and then tell him, come back home and tell him she cheated on him, and cheat on him with a cop, so he couldn't do nothing to the guy. Right? Because the guy's a cop. I mean, this is the kind of level of hate. This is going 20, 30 years now. Level of hatred. Like that. I like, y'all, listen, you, for your own safety, y'all need to get separate from each other.
Right.
There was nothing that, and this guy loved her. He was like, loved her. And it was like, just trying to get him to see that. And I'll be honest with you. I don't know what happened to this couple, because, you know, they eventually went on, you know, the church, you know, went to a different city. Great guy. He was a great guy, man. But she was a hellion for him. And
so,
kind of
sit in that for a second, though.
Mm-hmm.
You acknowledged he was a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
She acknowledged, if most people cheat and hide it because they're afraid of the consequences. If you go out and cheat, and you come back, and you got your chest out, and you like, she, pastor, you an apostle in the Lord's church. I'm an elder in the Lord's church. There's not a day of the week a wife of mine gonna walk up to me and say, I just got deed down. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know who you're dealing with. So this goes back to the statement. They don't know what they do, and that's the problem. That's the problem. We share this with young women a lot, and I think we need to get young men on the same page. And while it's not like a macho kind of thinking, but you never let somebody think you need them. Once that concept is there, when a man loves a woman so much that he loses himself in the pursuit of her, she now knows you need this. And this is why seasons change, because when she wants something else, she'll be what you need her to be. And the man is like a high. Vice versa. We do it. Men do it all the time. Men are the greatest psychiatrists, psychologists. There's a facade that's put up, and you make her chase that. She makes him chase that. And he'll go to any extreme, just hoping that he can get back to that honeymoon phase, or she can get back to that honeymoon phase. Like the spark will light, and so it's really important to stand in the, I'm here because I want this. I don't need this. And when a brother is that much in love, it's just like when a sister is. They're not going nowhere. They'll go sleep at their mother's house. They will take things that most people wouldn't take because they're wrapped up around a certain individual. But every person have their breaking point.
So let me ask you a question, man. So that you raised an interesting point, right? Because then it becomes about, and I don't you can clarify this, when you can't be transparent about the relationship, like with this person, like the fact that you, and when you say that word need, I understand what you're saying, and I believe that um people typically, a healthy relationship is a relationship that people can be independent and stand alone, right?
Mhm.
Like I can live without you, you can live without me, and that's kind of what you want to be, right? You want to be able to, God forbid, if I have to live without you, move on without you, I can, right? You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that feels like I can't live without you. That's a problem. I think that's a problem. I think the greater thing, the thing that you might want to, I don't want to live without you. I want you to be in my life. I think the want factor is stronger than the need factor,
Right.
right? Because the want is controlled by you. Like I want this, not that I need this. Because when I don't need this no more, then I can do something else, right?
Right. Right.
Because eventually, a need can be met, right? Right. So, um, but the point I want to make is, do you think that promotes, or that promotes the game, right? Because I don't want you to know how much I want to be with you, because
No.
then I don't want you to take advantage of.
No.
I don't
That,
want you to take advantage of me, because that is out there, right? So, like, okay, the whole thing: you go on a date, don't call the next day, right? Why? Because you don't want them to think that you
desperate.
overly desperate, right? Or yeah, so then you start getting into that whole, right? It becomes a game in some respect. But go ahead, tell me what
So,
your thoughts on that.
and I'm so glad you're here. I'm loving this. We as a people, especially Black people, we've got to come out of these game phases. It's childish. It's and it's more insecure than it more of insecurity than it is of pride. That we care how we look showing up to something we say we want, but we don't want to be too desperate. We don't. It's okay. We got to come out of that thinking. And honestly, if you have to play that game with a person, that's not the person for you. Because a woman, if she wants to spend time with you, yo, you won't be able to get her to stop calling and texting you. A man that, you get what I'm saying? A man that wanted, now, yeah, we got identities, and we working, and we got businesses and all of this stuff. But if there's a person I really want to talk to that day, I really want to text or send a voice note to that day, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. So we've got to remove that layer, because what's happening in the process of playing all of these games, we're still putting up a facade of who we aren't, and not allowing a person to choose if this is the person they want to connect to. And so you might play this game and they might choose you, but they will give you back because you're not what they want. Be you. Show up as you. Now, the other part of that, in terms of like, oh, not showing up. No, what I'm saying is to show up, express that, yo, I'm here because I want to be here, but I could be anywhere else I want to be. So, my mama, you want to hang out or not? What is this? You either a little interest or no interest. What, speak your mind, because that's where I'm at. So, having that transparency is fair for the other person. And sometimes that's not fair for you, because they may use that against you, but you've got to have a level of like, yo, what happened to discernment? Nobody got that no more. Like you can't see that, like, okay, now I made some mistakes young. I'm older now. You should see some stuff from a mile away and just be like, yeah, no. It looked good, but no, I see where this is going. And so what I'm saying in terms of not letting a person feel like they need you, I'm not saying don't let them know that you in love with them and all of that. But I can't love you from a place of depletion. I've got to have something for me. And that is where I'm saying the moment you realize that this is not healthy, the moment you realize that you can't function without wondering what another grown person is doing. That's not love. That's a lack of trust. That's insecurity. You don't need to be there. And sometimes maybe it's pain from the past, or things are showing up. But if you're that concerned about being able to trust them, or that concerned about them being able to be authentic with you, why are you pursuing that person? Your spirit is telling you that that's not the person for you. Your spirit is locked to them. You have to convince yourself that this is a good person. You're betraying yourself by pursuing them. I don't know if that's healthy.
Well, I think, and I think that if you got to keep making concessions in your mind for what, like, you got to keep convincing yourself that this is why this person is good for you, that's a problem. Because now you're trying to talk yourself into something that yourself is trying to talk you out of, right? Because you're negotiating with yourself about something that you know is not right. But I agree about the game factor, because I think the games are, well, when you get a certain age, you should be past that, right? I mean, there's a point you should be like, listen, I'm looking to be married. And if that's not the road you're on, I like you, you like me, we hang out, we have a good time, but that's really where this is going. Now, again, it don't have to happen tomorrow, don't have to today, but that person needs to know that this is where I am. And I'm not trying to force you into anything, but just know that this ain't play for me. And I think once you can say that and be good with whatever the response is and move on, I think you're there. I think a lot of people are not there. I think there's still a hint of games that people think that really works. But again, I think that once you get to a certain age and you get to a certain place in your life where you're like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and I'm not trying to be nowhere that doesn't work for me. I think now you become more and more you're healthy, right? Because there's a lot of people who are in relationships or trying to be in relationships are just not healthy, right? Emotionally, physically, even mentally. There's some people who are still dealing with trauma and abuse, and it's still that stuff is still baggage that they're bringing into these relationships, and they're all this dependency and all this demand on this person that you just met. It's not realistic, and I think that you have to get healthy first before you can really do anything in a relationship. I mean, of course, we heard that before. We talk about this stuff before, but the reality is, if you think you got to play games and you're just not ready, you're just not ready. And I think, like I said, at a certain age, I mean, you're younger than I am. Are you in your 30s or 40s? Are you in your 20s?
Yes.
Whoa, Lord, you talk like you in your 30s, young man.
Been through some things, that's all. But
yeah, so you're still young, right? And you're kind of out. You kind of see a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. I don't see. I will never see again. I'll never pray to ever see again. I love my wife. And I am. So my heart goes out to a lot of you guys who are out there and trying to make it work. But you got to contend with all this stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff to weed through. And I don't know how y'all gonna make it.
It's a lot of stuff that we through, but it's not, because a person can tell you anything, but behaviors always.
Yes, sir.
Always.
Yes, sir.
I see stuff so. At this point, I'm like a serial dater. I seen that before. I know what that is. I already know. That's street mentality. You can't fool me. So you get what I'm saying? So it's a lot out there, and it is very unfortunately, it's a lot of time wasting. But I would rather waste the time on this side.
Yeah.
Waste it on this side. Don't jump to that. I know that the church will get you married in 2 weeks. Man, take your time. Take all the time you need. Because when you're giving this kind of investment, this is the investment that will destroy your life. And no, I wouldn't advise any person play, especially not in this generation. The logic is gone. They want you to give everything in the world, and they give up nothing. You have to be upright, upstanding. These people don't. They can sleep around. They can do everything. And no. And this goes back to having your standard. Know what you're not gonna put up with and stand on that. Walk away. Don't explain yourself. If a person can't tell that they disrespected you in your silence, there's nothing you can say that's gonna get them to see what the problem was. Because some of this stuff is disrespect that you can't excuse away. You can't reason away.
Right.
The stuff we saw in this video, you can't reason that away. You had no intentions on telling this man. If he didn't act, you would have never. Nobody on his list was gonna make it there. He assumed he walking her down the aisle. You never had a this is stuff that you can't excuse that stuff away. So stand on your beliefs and your values. And what's for you won't miss you.
Yeah, I think you have to be willing to endure the pain.
Oh yeah.
You know, I heard Noel Jones said one time, sometimes you have to pick your pain. The pain to stay into something that's bad, or the pain that it takes to get out of it. And I think that's one of the things that people are not willing to do. You know, they don't want to deal with the pain, or the pain could be on different levels. The embarrassment, right? The shame. The fact that you got to tell people that what you thought was not. But I'm with you on that, brother. I'd rather be on this. I'd rather be on the side of before it blows up, right? You know, I see the signs, then to get on the other side of it and then have to be like, man, listen, I've been through a few separations and a few divorces, man, and they are all ugly. They're ugly. And
there's no such thing as an unugly divorce, no matter how peaceful it is.
No, man.
It's a serious grieving period. And the worst part is for men, we're responsible no matter what happened.
Oh yeah, it's you. It's all you did.
No
something.
matter what happened.
That's right.
Now, if you cheat, brother, you wrong. If she cheat, she wasn't happy.
Exactly.
You did something to make her.
Or you couldn't satisfy her. It was something you did or didn't do.
And that's not an issue at this young age that we have now. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you and I remember because Bishop Jones broke down in tears when he gave that confession. He was talking to Ron Gibson, and with all due respect, we know Bishop Gibson can meddle.
Yeah. He
can push buttons that really shouldn't be pushed. With all due respect, it's still a bishop in the Lord's church. But I think when you sit back and you consider the weight of all of this stuff, the psychological pressures and the economical pressures and the sociological structures, if you get the wrong deal after investing so much,
oh man,
it can really destroy a person. And then the recovery, a lot of people don't talk about, and it wasn't until this semester that I realized how true it was. One of the young brothers was testifying in school. He was talking about how if he could get in a car and chase the sunset to just hear something, like, the birds chirping, etc., because of how quiet his house was, post the divorce and all of that. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I remember the only problem I had with like the post divorce was how quiet things were. I didn't even miss the person. I just let me get the kids. The women automatically kids, and then they call you a deadbeat because they won't let you have the kids you beg for. But all of this stuff men go through, that we don't talk about. We just wear, and we wear well. It's better to choose right than to have to go through any of that.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. And then you see the guy who actually finds somebody and he's in love and he's head over heels and he's doing well. You think he's faking, but you know, the reality is that there's somebody who clicks, works, you know, someone that, you know, like my wife and I, we always appreciative of our relationship, you know, just the fact that the stuff that we don't believe we have anything to do with, right? The stuff that we believe is God sent. It's kind of just how we're wired that makes us drive the way we drive, that makes us move the way we move. And that's when we're grateful. Like, thank you, Lord. Because people think they could just take one person out of an equation and throw any person in there who has the criteria, right? Who's got the, you know, oh, we're both saved. We both like blue. We both like horror movies. You know, like, no, we like the same foods. That kind of stuff is not it. Like, it's the stuff that makes it, like you said, we said earlier, the want to. Like, my wife and I were talking about what do you think that makes us work, that keeps us? She says, we both want this.
Right.
We want this. Like, we don't want nothing to get in the way of this. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, that's profound. Because for years you thought it was just a matter of it didn't work out. Right? What do you mean it didn't work out? Like, how did it like it got a momentum on its own? It's like you get to a point where you no longer want that you're a part of, because it's not healthy, it's not pleasant, you're not enjoying each other, you're at odds, whatever it is, right? Or we just go in different directions, or whatever that happens, whatever that makes that happen. But this is like, when you want something, you make up your mind that, wow, this is worth, like, because I've done certain things where, like, it's whatever the issue was, it's just not worth it. It's not worth what I have, right? It's not worth the peace I have. It's not worth the relationship we have. So you just like, no, this is the key. And I agree with that, man. I think that people who are in situations that are not healthy anymore, I think you have to come to terms with, because I think options are dangerous in some respect. To think that you have options, although you do have options, but I think they can play against you, and so can play against you if you are not careful, because then you think the minute one thing blows up, oh, I don't have to be here, right? But I think over time, once you realize, well, yeah, you don't have to be there, but where are you going? And I guess we can go down a different road. I don't want to go down that road because I think we'll take us all night. But I guess to your point, man, we have to be honest about who we are, what we want, and be unapologetic about what we want,
and what we don't,
and what we don't want, and be willing to stand on that. And I think once we do that, I think we'll be much better community.
And to my brothers, if anyone ever hear this, you know, like if you ever, I think this part is very important.
Yeah.
Listen to what she says she want and don't want.
Yeah, brother. Listen.
It's easy to see yourself. Like, sometimes we get into that delusion. You see yourself. You almost like build the person. That's not you. So you're pursuing something, and it's clear already that you're not what she wants.
Yeah.
Don't break your spirit like that.
No, don't do it, because it'll ruin you, man. It'll ruin you. You got to know. And I like I said, whether the story is true or not, I don't think it is. It don't sound like it is. And if it is, if it is, if it isn't, he's just not a good actor. But just the passion of the disrespect didn't come across well. You know what I mean? Like, I think if a guy who I'm back on my man is the topic. It's just something definitely. I agree. He didn't really go through this. It's a good story. It's a good topic. It's a good, conversation starter.
So
But
I think what it leads us down the path of it, and we find ourselves here a lot, especially in moderndom, the stepdad factor, the guy that's in the picture but doesn't get any respect, doesn't get any say, and I think there's weight there, because especially if the real father is alive, active, present, then you don't get any say. You don't. But if you're replacing the figure of the father, then that's your family. So you get what I'm saying? So I think we have those things. And so men who, it's a difficult thing to date someone with kids or to marry someone with kids. They call it blended families. If you find yourself going for that, know what you can and can't handle. And if that's not something you can handle, if you can't compete with knowing that another male adult is going to be around at minimum for the kids' sake. So that doesn't mean like, oh, come into the house and all of that, but there will be contact, communication, etc. If you know you can't handle that, then that's not the situation for you. Because the problem is only going to get worse. There's going to come a day that you're going to have to correct. And I'm not talking about physically abuse. I'm talking about, hey, go sit down. There's going to come a day you're going to have to. And when you cross those lines, it's going to get blurry. So if you can't do it, it's okay.
Well, you have to have an understanding. Like, so as my wife and I, we both have kids on both sides, right? And one of my sons live with me. And what we've done is, like, his father and myself, we talk. Like, we have a good understanding, a good relationship, a good healthy respect for each other, and that's how that works, right? And we call our son our son. He even went as far as it said, he said to him, how you feel about having two dads? Because he knows I love him. He knows that I'll protect him. He knows that, and we don't war. We listen, we don't have any no challenges in that regard, because we respect each other's boundaries, we respect each other's space, and we have a good. That's what it takes, right? We're not competing, like, and I advocate him spending time with his son, like that. That was. Listen, this man, and I'll tell him, your son needs you. I said, I'm stepdad. I get in where I fit in, right? I know my role. I know where I'm at.
Right.
But again, my wife perpetuates respect in the home. I am the head of my home. And she don't, when it comes to, making sure that certain things go a certain way, she tell them, listen, ask Collie. Right? Because, this is how it goes. And she knows that I love my son. She knows I'm not going to do nothing to hurt him. I'm not abused. I'm not trying to usurp anything. I'm who I am. So, but you have to know, you have to have a certain level of confidence on either side, because it could have went
into that situation.
Huh?
You have to have that again, though. Yeah,
absolutely. I always knew where I was stood. I'm not competing for anybody. I got kids of my own, right? And so, I know my role. I know what I'm here for. I know why that I, take care of my son, because I love his mother. Right. And I know she loves her son. I love so this is what it is, man. This is how we move. And you got to know how that works. And you got to have a good, healthy understanding of what you're getting into, like you said, and also know what you can handle, what you can't handle. If you can't handle, like, first of all, you got to know who you are. Right. And I had the same thing with my children's stepfather. Like my children's mother married a good guy, right? We have a good relationship. Like we talk, we always communicated. So it depends. It depends on the individual, man. So I know we've been on here for 2 hours. Well, I have been on for 2 hours. You haven't been on 2 hours. But I think this is a good topic, brother. Thank you for coming on, man.
Of course,
You have any parting advice as we part tonight? I have nothing. I've given everything I've got. That's all I got.
You use what we talked about though. Don't just listen and still find yourself in those predicaments.
Yeah, and if you need help with guidance and any kind of mentorship, reach out to this brother, man. Brother Maurice. This guy is deep, he's heavy, he's insightful. He gives you some real good direction, and
reach out to the Apostle Chris Colley.
No, it's okay. You don't have to. It's okay. I'm serious. You really can help some of these young brothers, because these guys are going down some roads, man, that they are not prepared for. They are not prepared for. But yeah, if you listen, brother, you're gonna need to counsel some of these brothers. Trust me, man. I think you're gonna be a great help to a lot of them. So yeah, they're gonna be knocking on your door, because these cats don't know what they got themselves in for. All right, man, I'm done. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for us out here making a mess. So we'll see how these people respond to this, man. You have a good night.
You as well, Pastor.
And we'll talk, man. Thank you again. Be well.